Right, welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks since I finished the Enterprise, and I've been itching to build a new model, because you know me, I love my models. So it's next model time. This is another kit that I bought in November, last November from the model fair. And I've been waiting to get some aftermarket parts for it. Well, the aftermarket bits have now arrived, so I can now get cracking on with this model. As you can see, it is the Jordan EJ10 Formula 1 car from the 2000 season. Not much of the box art, just pretty much what you can build from that era. There's only two sprues. You get your black sprue. There's actually three sprues. Black sprue, which is mainly the underneath and the steering rods, wheels, and then you get some clear parts as well. Then you get the yellow one, which is mainly the monocoque and various other bits to go on the monocoque. And then you get your rubber tyres, which are proper rubber tyres, as you can see. Instructions are fairly straightforward. You can build this to Yarno, Trulli or Heinz-Held Frentzen. I'm going to build it to Frentzen, because it's got the number 5 on it. And as most of you know, Nigel Mansell's my favourite driver. But you do get Trulli decals as well. And here's the decal sheet. It's not massively big. It's about half an A4 size. You get the Buzzin Hornets decals because of the non-tobacco sponsorship. But to combat that, I mean, even though those decals are really good, not bad at all, I've bought me some Bensons Hedges decals. I got these off an eBay seller in Los Angeles, and they only took 4 days to arrive, which I was really chuffed with. It cost me £13.80. So the model was only £12, so it's worth buying these extra decals. And trouble is, they come with Rothman's sponsorship decals as well. So if I ever decide to build a 94 onwards Williams, at least I've got plenty of Rothman's decals. There's actually more Rothman's than Bensons. Because trying to get Bensons decals for the EJ10 or any Jordan car, I just can't get them anywhere. They're either sold out or discontinued. They're very, very rare indeed. So not bad at all for this decal sheet. It's just a shame there ain't as many Bensons as there are Rothmans. These are 118, 120, 124 and 143 scale decals. So you got decals for everything. So we'll be doing the tobacco on this, Bensons Hedges. Anyway, now my decals have arrived, it's time to get cracking on. Stay with me. Right, this is the black sprue, and as you can see, I've decided to primer the parts on the sprues. I think, to be honest, it would be a hell of a lot easier. I'm going to do the same with the yellow one as well. But turning it over, as you can see, I've primed both sides. So this is lovely and dry now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray these in the Halford's Gloss Black. Stay with me. Right, as you can see, the Halford's Gloss Black has now gone down on top of the primer. You can see it's gone all the way around, absolutely lovely. Now, that piece of wing there and the piece of wing that's on the back of that strut, I've masked those off because those are going to be yellow, so I've just got some normal household masking tape and just wrap them around to mask those off. Going on to the other side, and you can see the black's gone down an absolute treat. It's now time to start primering the monocoque section. Stay with me. Right, welcome back. As you can see, I've now got the monocoque section, which is the yellow sprues, all done in the primer. Now unfortunately the monocoque actually came off the actual sprue, so that's all loose, so I had to rest it on top of this rock here. But as you can see, underneath and on top is priming. It's gone down really, really well. You can see in those panel lines there, not bad at all. Just turning the yellow sprue over, you can see that I've done both sides, and now it's time for the yellow paint to go on top of that. Stay with me. Right, as you can see on the yellow sprue, I've actually painted the yellow on top of the primer now using the Humbrol acrylic spray Yellow 69. Cost me $4.99 from Hobbycraft, 150ml can. I've done both sides of the main sprue, as you can see. That's all lovely and dry now. I've then cut off the black sprue, the back part of the rear wing section. I've masked off the black struts and then took the tape off around the edges and just spray painted the yellow on that one. And you got the yellow on that wing as well. I've got to do the other side yet. And then you got the main actual monocoque there. It's gone down lovely. You can see it's gone down the channels as well, not too bad. And on the underneath as well, it's gone down really well. So now the bits have painted, I can actually finally start on construction. Stay with me. Right, as you can see, I've started construction on the Jordan and the rear wing assembly is complete. But it was very difficult to get all the wings in that side, waiting for the glue to dry, and then trying to line them up to the holes on that side. It was very, very difficult. Especially on that back section there, because that is a wing that has to be pushed into the bottom section, which is that basically wing in this suspension section. I had to widen the hole slightly and just push it right down. I didn't even need to glue it. The trouble is, on that side it went in fine because like it was really close, but on that side it was like wide, so I had to crimp them both together to get that side of the wing in. But I managed to get there in the end. It's basically all that. So you got the plate, you got the three wings, you got to push that down and try and glue them in the one side and try and align them to the holes on that side. Very, very difficult indeed. And then once the glue dried, because I did use a bit of super glue as well, all I did is just got my black and yellow paint, my 36115 yellow. It matches up very, very closely, so I just had to top up around the edges underneath and then just use my black paint and then just top the wings up. But I can now put the decals on that rear wing. Stay with me. Work continues on the Jordan. You can see that I've put the Bensons Hedges decals on the rear wings now. You've got the one on the main rear wing which is cut into two halves because there's two separate wings. You can see I've met them pretty well, not bad. I've put a Bensons Hedges decal on that front wing there, and just underneath there you can just make out the Bensons Hedges decal there. Now on the rear I've had to use the Buzzin Hornets decals of the kit markings because of the Bensons Hedges decals. You can see that each decal is only one per size. There's not two matching of the same size, unfortunately. So that's why I've had to use the Buzzin Hornets on the back wing there. You can also see that I've mounted the completed rear wing assembly with all the suspension rods. Quite easy to get in actually, not as hard as the Newman Haas IndyCar did like a couple of years ago. And I've just mounted them onto the two-piece housing. You got like a top piece which was connected to the actual wing, and then you put all the armatures in, and then you make a sandwich piece with the other half, and I've glued that into place, as you can see. Then I've put the side pods on that go underneath and then push down, and then you got the side pod bits there with two intakes that have been painted in silver, as you can see there, and I've just used a bit of tape to hold the side pods into place. I've also done the front wing, just that piece there, and then you've got the two pieces on the side which are glued in, as you can see. I've also put the wheels into their tyres and just painted those in the black. I'm going to gloss those up before I put the actual wheel decals on, and I've started work on the bucket seat. Just painted that with anthracite. All I've got to do is put the decals on. But that's where I'm sitting at the moment. Stay with me. Right, as you can see, I've now glued the two halves, the bottom half and the top half of the Jordan together. And as you can see with all my clamps, it's holding it down while the glue's drying. I couldn't get a clamp round the nose section underneath and onto the top part of the nose, so because my clamp kept slipping off, so I just put a bit of tape on to hold that. I'm going a bit of an alternative route. I'm using glue and glaze as opposed to my Revell liquid poly cement, because if I put the liquid poly cement on, it'll run the paint where the glue and glaze won't. So I'm hoping the glue and glaze will hold all that together. Here's hoping, fingers crossed. Stay with me. As you can see, I've now took the clamps off the Jordan, which was holding the floor to the monocoque, and I can happily say that the results are absolutely wonderful. The glue and glaze has actually done really well, better than I expected. I've also, once I took the clamps off, I've also put these front sections here into the nose, because those are going to connect to the front wing. And I've test fitted this into the front wing. I had to drill the holes slightly a bit more, make them wider, but that fits into the front wing of treat. So now this is ready for decals. Stay with me. Right, I can happily say that the EJ10 Jordan is all done. It's been a very short build actually. It's only took me about just over a week to do this. Apart from a few niggles here and there, I'm really happy on how this has turned out. So here's the final reveal. Well, there it is, as you can see, it's all done now. My Jordan EJ10 from the 2000 Formula 1 season. When I left you, I just pretty much got everything assembled, bar the wheels, the front wing and the wing mirrors. It was all ready for decals. As you can see, I've put all the decals on now. I'll start with the nose decal here, the actual Hornet. There's some sections already pre-cut out in the decal, so what I did is I cut it just there, and I slid it right up to the actual suspension rods, and then the wing part at the back here, I had to manoeuvre it in slowly, and then I had to push it up to get that strut, and then below that one just there, and I met it up pretty well, not bad at all. It's really gone down really well. Once that was done and dried, I then went with the markings there. You got that marking there with the Bridgestone Brother, the Mugen Honda and the Jordan decal, that was one. Then you got the Imation 5 and the German Post decal, that's another one. And then I went with the Bensons decal. Now basically it was Benson, and then with the S off the back of the Hedges, I put that on. Because there's the Benson decal that they give you in that aftermarket set, and you can see it's way too small. So that's what I've had to do. Use a slight italic Bensons. And then with the B, I'll just cut it in half over that raised section there, which is the rear facing camera mount. And then I just put the one part of the B on there, the one on the top of it and below it, and then just used a drop of paint to make the B on the camera mount. And then again, cutting the S off the Hedges, just matched it up and then let that dry. Not bad at all. Then you've got the Mastercard and the German Post decal again, then went down really easy. Now with the Buzzin Hornets, you can see that I've got two Bensons Hedges, but they're not the same size. They're both too small. As you can see, it's not. I haven't got two Bensons Hedges the same size. So what I've done is I've done a hybrid variant using the Buzzin Hornets decals as well as the Bensons. So that went on pretty well. Just and then folded this section over there, and it's gone in really well. You've got the 3 stripe decals at the back there, pointed stripes. That's one decal. Then you've got the the sponsor stripe there all the way down. In one stripe you've got various sponsors that went down here really easy. I've used a Benson and a Hedges on that little underwing there. That was very easy to get on. Then you have all this here, that's one decal around the exhausts. Now on the plans it tells you to put the Honda right up to those decals, so there's no gap in there's no yellow gap, but studying some pictures online there is actually a gap, so I left the gap, as you can see. Microset and Microsol's done its work. Then you've got another MasterCard and German Post decal there. You've got the Heinz Harald Frentzen driver logo there, Intercon and PlayStation. Then you've got the Hornets decal there, but mine has got the B&H on from the aftermarket set, so that's that. You've got the Zepter decals there, and a little B&H decal from the aftermarket set there. Then you've got the actual rear wing side decals, Brother, Bridgestone, Intercon, that's all one decal. And then you've got the 5 there with the striping, pointed striping, that's another decal there. Around the back here is a little clear part, so I'll just whack that in, painted silver behind. And then pretty much rinse and repeat on the other side with that Lucent decal. And then it's got by Bell, which goes down the side of the monocoque. So you just fold that down with a bit of Microsol. Then you've got the actual Bridgestone Potenza decals, as well as the Oz Racing decals on the inside of the rim. That was one decal, but I couldn't get it to bend round, so I had to cut it into 4/4 and patch them up the best I can. It's not like circular, not 100%, but it'll do. And then with the Bridgestone and Potenza, I'll just put a bit of clear gloss on first, and then just dab them down. There wasn't like the Newman Haas, where there was like back to front with the adhesive. I had to put them on like a proper decal. I've learnt my lesson from this time. From last time, I put Potenza there and Bridgestone on the other side, because I repeat, you know, put them on the same side, so Bridgestone would have been there and there, but I've like Bridgestone Potenza. And then you got the wing. I've used the B&H Hornets. I cut that off the PlayStation decal because that was one decal, and I used the B&H Hornet from the aftermarket set, both sides, as you can see. And then you got Benson and Hedges there. Then you got the German Post decals in there. Put those on, sealed them, and then jabbed a little hole so I can get those clear sections on, as you can see there. A niggle. You've got that tyre doesn't actually touch the floor. You can see it's actually slightly elevated, and that front tyre there is at an angle. I don't know why it's done that. So those are a couple of the niggles that I've got. And then last but not least, you've got the camera mount. I glued that now the actual intake on first, painted it on the inside with my black, put that down, and then put the camera mount on, and you got the little decals. Quite hard to get them to go round, but I managed to do it eventually. And last but not least, the wing mirrors. I put those on last. You can see that I've put the silver on for the mirrors, and a little pearl decal there. You can't make it out, but it's definitely there. And that's it. The Jordan is all finished. I'm really chuffed on how this has turned out. Not bad at all. Not bad for £12 anyway. Right, with my inconsistent rambling finished, because this is going to be one hell of a long video, I'll put some stills on. And thank you very much for watching, I should say. And see you soon.